Hi everyone, welcome back. I just wanted to do an update for you today because I'm still doing the Finish 5 by Bonfire night, which is the 5th of November here in the UK, and that's with Lorraine and the other girls on YouTube, and I've been keeping up to date with their updates, and their details are all linked in the description bar and links for these books as well. I'm really excited to say I've finished one book. Now I know it's only one book, but it is quite a big book. It is massive. It is nearly 600 pages. And so, yeah, to pick a big fat one for my first one to get through was probably quite ambitious of me. But I've gone with this one, and I've got to say I did really enjoy it. I enjoyed it in the sense that it was interesting, and sorry if this is repetitive because I gave quite a lot of information in my last update on this book, but although it was interesting, it's difficult to use the word enjoy when you read it because it is quite sad, and there are quite difficult parts to read. I mean, I've read more difficult stuff in a book. It's not like it's written in such a way where it makes you cringe. It doesn't go into massive detail in these sort of scenes as to graphic or awful things happening, but it's quite terrible and upsetting things and not happy things that sort of happen, and it does mention them, and so it also doesn't have a happy ending either, and the ending I was surprised by. I really hate films and books where you predict what's going to happen before it happened. I hate predictable stuff because it's boring in my opinion. This wasn't predictable. I actually didn't predict the ending. I couldn't have predicted it, and so yes, I'm not going to spoil it, and I think it's Lorraine who wants this book. Let me know, Lorraine, if that's right or not. I definitely have agreed to pass this on to somebody. I think it is Lorraine, so I can now post it. Now I've filmed my update, and I'm really proud of myself because sorry if this is it making excuses, but I've had a huge amount on. Some of it, a lot of it I cannot talk about for personal reasons on my channel, but that I will and I fully intend to talk about later when the time is right and when I'm able to. But yeah, I've had a huge amount on, and I'm really pleased that I managed to read that, especially because I also read obviously I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I read True Crime magazine and True Detective magazine religiously. So moving on, I then got stuck straight into The Life of Pi, purely because I'd already read about 10 to 15% of the book, I think. And I did say in my original video that I picked books that I'd sort of started to read and just hadn't completed them, much like you would in a project pan, stuff you've bought and you just, haven't finished and you want out of your collection. So it was like that with these books really, but I've got to say, I mean, I can't even show it to you because it's in the boot of my car and I'm not bringing it in the house. It's just not allowed back in the house. I cannot, I'm sorry, not even for the dedication I have to my channel, I cannot force myself to read that boring book. I really enjoyed the film, but yeah, the book is not for me. So if anybody wants Life of Pi and they want to feel really bored to tears, by all means I can send that on to you. Just let me know. But anywho, I moved straight on and swiftly on to one of the thinnest books. These are the last two here, and this is the thinnest book, I think, if you don't count this one, which isn't really like a read. I'll explain that in a minute. And it's only 279 pages long, and it's written by James Bowen, who was a man who had not necessarily a bad start in life, and he actually says that himself. He admits it right at the start. He didn't take opportunities that were given to him, and he didn't cope very well with being a little bit nomadic in existence. His parents separated, and his mum was a very successful businesswoman, and he was moved around a lot and struggled to make friends and sort of settle down anywhere, and that he thinks might have been one of the reasons why he did end up homeless and sort of choose that path in a way. And I'm not saying everybody who's homeless chooses for that to be the case, but I really admire the way that he's written this so far. I mean, I'm only on chapter 4. He seems to be taking some sort of responsibility for the situation he ended up in the sense that he's not purely victimising himself, although I'm sure that his situation and circumstances being what they are contributed to him being homeless, of course. He writes this in a way where he is taking, analysing things in a really sort of intelligent way and thinking, right, well, how did this happen? what can I do, what could, not necessarily what could I have done, as in, living with regrets, but, it's really healthy the way he's doing it. Is obviously trying to better his life and think about changing patterns of behaviour, habits, thought patterns in order to, change the outcome of his future. So it's not, when I describe it like that, it probably sounds really complicated. It's actually not. And I don't mean this as an insult to the author. It is written very simply. It's a teenager, somebody from the age of, maybe, not that it might be appropriate for that age group. I suppose it wouldn't be inappropriate to talk about homelessness in that age group, but even a 9-year-old could probably read this and it'd not be a bother, or maybe even younger. It's not a difficult one to read. Don't know why I'm finding it so much easier to talk about this book. Maybe because it is simpler, but I think it's just because J.K. Rowling that book isn't really a story. I guess it is a story. It's really hard to describe that other book because it's just more about the people and the characters, and it flits from one to the other, I suppose that's written to me like a soap opera would be, a script for a soap opera. But this book, anyway, back to this book, I'm finding it much easier to talk about how this book is going. So he meets this cat, obviously. You can tell that from just the blurb. He meets this cat, or he rescues this cat, and although he has very little money to his name, he uses the money to treat this cat, care for this cat. And so far, that's what's happened. And Bob's just been neutered, and their relationship is growing, and he's seeing reflections of himself in Bob, in his character, in the way that he's maybe a bit misunderstood with his behaviour, the cat is, and so he's seeing reflections of that in himself. And I'm getting the feeling this is going to end up being really heartwarming. And actually, I've just noticed that the Daily Mail wrote heartwarming tale with a message of hope, so I'm really confident that I'm going to enjoy this. And I got through those 3 chapters in one sitting, and I'm really confident I'm going to have this book finished by the end of the project. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I'm going to have more than 2 books finished by the end of the project. This Stop Worrying book is a CBT book, cognitive behavioural therapy, and I'm not in a place where I can do that, just because I'm not really doing a huge amount of worrying at the minute, which is really great news. I've not got a lot of anxiety or anything, and it will become clear later when I can talk about it on my channel, but there's other things going on that require my attention medically, and so that's just not the direction I'm going in. So I am going to move straight on to the Martina Cole book, and I'm going to do my best to have that finished. But at the end of the day, it's now the 12th of October, so I've got less than a month to go, and I'm not the quickest reader, so in reality I'm probably going to end up with 2. But yeah, that's still for me a great achievement with everything that I've had on, and so I'm really happy that I've taken part in the project. And although I did originally have all the will in the world to read 5 books, in reality I did expect that wouldn't be the case, so I'm not disappointed at all. If you're joining in with the challenge, then let me know in the comments how you're doing, and don't forget to check out all the other girls' videos. And for this one, it'll be the last update, so I'll just see you in the finale just after or on Bonfire night. Take care, guys. Bye.